for it, so I'm putting Clyde on it.
Good.
Now you eat like a bird. What do they call that? Grazing? Order some real food.
Ed?
My ex-wife used to eat pie for breakfast.
Ed?
She's from Tennessee.
Uh-huh.
Kate.
I want to discuss something.
You know, occasionally when people take business lunches, they loosen up.
This is very important.
You want to raise?
No. I want to leave of absence.
For how long?
6 months. Maybe longer.
Why?
It's personal.
You mind my asking what this is all about? So you want me to go to the board of directors and tell them one of my best managers is leaving for personal reasons and don't think I can do that?
You don't have a choice. Ed, why don't you have some beef with your salt?
Now tell me that I don't have a choice. Don't back me into a corner. That's for the opposition.
I could quit.
Yeah, you could.
And would, if necessary.
You drive a hard bargain.
That's what you pay me for.
Excuse me, Mr. Darden? I'm sorry. I don't know Coast Guard titles and things.
It's Billy. I'm off duty.
Steve. So, how's it looking? You guys won't give up, will you?
That's Rescue Center's call up in New York. I know we'll try again tomorrow.
So does that mean tomorrow's it?
I don't know. We have 14 planes searching.
Can you get more?
I know when it's your own loved ones that are missing, it doesn't sound like much, but they're saying it's one of the biggest searches in Coast Guard history. We even have a Navy and a Canadian plane looking. Hi. If you don't mind a 4-week-old baby and the mess of a house I'm rebuilding, I'd be pleased if you'd join us for dinner.
Thanks, but I got a couple of harbors I want to call again. I got to keep trying.
Okay. I understand.
That's how I met her. She hired me to renovate her house. She's tough. Drove a hard bargain.
My wife and I are praying for you and Allison and the others. We'll find them.
And when she gets back, we'll have dinner, okay, all of us? Because we need to hear about having a new baby around the house. It's on our side, not worth discussing. Wait for 6 years.
And they'll be out in 3.
Mike, that may be the best that we can do. We do not have an independent witness. You cannot prove murder one without premeditation or intent to...
Intent. Now, what the hell did those kids think was going to happen after they beat him in the head 15 times with a baseball bat? Now, that sounds like intent to me.
Come on, Mike, you know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
They could argue extreme emotional disturbance, and a jury could very well buy that, and that'll bring us down to manslaughter anyway.
Yeah, well, I guess they were pretty emotionally disturbed to have some black kids in their neighborhood. What are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm trying to discuss the weaknesses of this case. Don't start jumping all over me. I care about what happened too, Mike.
Do you? Take a good look, Gene. This kid was killed for one reason. Because he was black. He was an African-American. Now, that could have been me, Gene. That could be any African-American. Those kids didn't care who Clayton was, what he wanted to be. He was black. Period. End of discussion. End of life.
I understand that, Mike. Thank you. Now, will you look at this case objectively for 1 minute? You want to win this case and get these kids off the street, or do you want to go after revenge and risk blowing the whole thing?
The facts are clear. This was a hate killing. Those kids were looking to kill. I won't accept anything less than murder one.
Well, you are not running the show, Mike. I am, and I don't like what I'm hearing. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you about who feels more deeply about the murder. I want the same thing that you do, and I intend to get it. And I don't really care whether you believe that or not.
Fine.
do that?
To what?
Every time I ask you about yourself, you work it around to where I end up talking about me again.
What do you want to know?
What you daydream about from feeding the horses? What scares you the most? What you look like first thing in the morning? But there ain't no hurry. So I think I'm gonna be leaving now, because if I don't, I'm gonna start begging you to let me in that door. And I don't think you want me to do that. Yeah? Night.
Oh, man. How hard did you try?
I don't like it either. Okay?
Maybe my wife's a lousy cook, but at least she listens to me. Tell her to do something, it gets done.
Lucky you.
Vacation just got canceled. Mine too. And you know why, partner?
Roberta's on the rag again.
Shut your face, Jeter.
Oh, no, is that offensive, Roberta? She's gonna file a complaint.
No. Don't believe in complaints.
Conducting a strike. So you came along and settled the strike. Later, a friendly lawyer set up a company called Test Fleet that bought all those expensive trucks from commercial carriers and then leased the same trucks back to them. And then sometime later, this very same lawyer became the first president of Test Fleet.
Well, that's your version of it, Bobby. I don't expect you to get it exactly right.
Well, let's see how close I can come, Mr. Hopper. While Teamster president, you set up a corporation called Test Fleet that leased trucks to your own Teamster drivers. That is clearly a violation of the federal antitrust statutes, isn't it?
Well, I did not lease, I did not own...
But a company called Test Fleet was set up by your attorney, and then the stock was transferred. Is that correct?
I think you're right.
Who was the stock transferred to?
I thought you said we were having an
Answer the question, please, Mr. Hopper. Who was the stock transferred to?
All right. Josephine Pozowak and Alice Johnson.
Louder, please.
Josephine Pozowak and Alice Johnson.
Louder, please. Who exactly is Josephine Pozowak?
My wife is Josephine Pozowak.